Our last new moon of 2025 is on December 19th, and there's a lot going on with this new moon that is meant to take us into new uncharted territory. You could feel very ungrounded. You could feel like it's hard to focus or even be productive. There might be more distractions, more energies running through you. Overall, the Sagittarius new moon is meant to elevate us, expand us, and introduce us to more higher frequencies that are available specifically at this new moon, which is conjunct the Galactic Center, squaring Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. And it also coincides with the upcoming Capricorn solstice 2 days later, December 21st. And also 3i Atlas, the interstellar object, is going to be the closest to Earth that it's ever been during this new moon. So there's a lot of cosmic energies in the mix. There's a lot happening outside of our traditional expectations, understandings. It's meant to take us further than we've been. And there's something about this new moon that could feel like it's a blast off. It's a powerful initiation into more multidimensional experiences, more things going on that you can't describe, but you're feeling it. There can be excitement here, as that is certainly a Sagittarius energy. But I think it's going to feel like our ascension symptoms are heightened and strong. So over the weekend, I'm going to say it's, December 19th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the solstice. There could be a lot going on in the higher dimensions, the higher frequencies that you are connecting to. You're sensing it, feeling it, a lot even going on in your dream state. And it could be really shifting you and evolving you. And even though the Sagittarius new moon is meant to start a new adventure, it's always a beginning point, as every new moon is. It's squaring Neptune, squaring Saturn in late degrees of Pisces, which is a removal of what the Sagittarius energies have subscribed to, believed, determined was correct or right or the best. There is a surrendering of opinions, judgments, even a sense of more dissolving is happening here around what you used to identify with, what you used to believe. Because I'm feeling like all these galactic energies here in this one new moon is initiating us in ways that we're not going to fully understand for a while. But we're going to sense it and feel it. And overall, it's very encouraging. It's very uplifting. But it depends on your willingness to leave behind what is no longer needed and what you're willing to evolve, what you're willing to look at in a new way. And I feel like this particular new moon, conjunct the Galactic Center, it has this opening to it. And as I say that, I'm seeing the opening going right into the crown chakra, as if now our energies are ready to digest and integrate even more messages and like light codes. I'm seeing it as like these glyphs. I'm seeing it as symbols. it's outside of language or typical written language. It feels like it's energies that we are receiving that are meant to jolt us in some way into new consciousness around our potentials. I hope that makes sense, because this is why it feels so expansive and big, is because we as a human species are moving into uncharted territory, and we are being supported and guided by benevolent forces that want humans to ascend, that want us to increase and evolve in the best, most appropriate ways. And it feels like this is some type of galactic portal, an opening. And because it is quite cosmic, it's meant to take us out of our typical human faculties and allow us to play and feel lighter and more free in the higher realms. And that's part of why you can feel very ungrounded, and then it's hard to focus, or you don't want to sit still, or you don't want to do the same things you've always done. This can be quite encouraging if you're ready to take a risk, go somewhere new, try something different. You could feel like, yeah, why not? And I feel like part of the square energy here, and I've mentioned it, I know in previous videos, of the planets in Sagittarius squaring Saturn and Neptune and Pisces, is for us to not be so worried, not be so stressed, not to feel like we have to figure it out or have an answer or know, at least on a human level, to know exactly what's happening. As I say that, I'm seeing this visual of one of those really complex math problems with all the symbols and numbers, and it's moving around, like moving around on the board. And I want to share with you, I haven't mentioned this lately in a video, but part of how I see messages is that it's like my third eye is a projector of visuals. And so that's why in some of these videos, you'll see me like staring off into the distance. It's like I watch a projector of visuals, images, messages come through. And that's what I'm looking at. And that's how I receive information. Typically I receive it fast. And there's times when I have to ask my guidance to slow it down and rewind it and be like, I need more time. I need to like get this message, or can you please go back here and da-da-da. So it's kind of like a movie, if you will, is how I see messages. That's one way. There's many ways that I feel and sense intuitive messages, and I hope that resonates with you, that you also are sensing your multidimensional, multifunctional psychic abilities. And that's what's coming online for us. That's what we are becoming more capable of understanding and practicing more often, more regularly, just part of now our lives, just part of how we navigate through our world. So that's what I was seeing when I was seeing that math equation and all the numbers and symbols moving around. It's like the formula is evolving. There's changes happening all the time. But I'm seeing like that's part of what's also going on, and why we can feel so light or just so open or so carefree. Now, I say that with deep respect for what is happening on the planet right now that is very difficult, troubling, emotional. Yes, like there are certainly energies and situations that are very active right now that are difficult. But in the higher realms, if this resonates with you, there is more of a lightness that is needed, because by being in that lightness of the higher realms, you're actually assisting the density, troubles, and wars of the lower realms to ascend and move forward. So there is a complementary relationship here around those who are focused on ascension, new earth values, who are aware of the new levels of experiences, the higher consciousness. All of that actually is assisting the 3D dense, maybe more egoic energies. Because what's occurring too is that it's providing a vision of what's possible, of what it looks like, for example, on a personal level, to be more healed, to be embodying higher energies, to be operating with a higher consciousness, to be more detached, more loving, more forgiving. That assists those who aren't quite there yet. And of course, we're all at our own places. We're all exactly where we are based on our free will and our choices. This is really beautiful though, because I'm seeing the infinity sign between the what we could call the 5D and the 3D. I'm like, this is where the energies are actually working together, even though they seem and can feel like they're very different or they're in a battle. I don't see it that way. I'm seeing like there is some kind of interesting dynamic happening here where those who are choosing to ascend are opening up those higher levels and normalizing them, providing a pathway for others to understand and follow if they should choose, if they want. And I do have to recognize that there are people who have no interest in healing, who have no interest in ascending, who have no interest in improving themselves or growing. And that's something to just call a spade a spade. There are people who do not want this. They're not ready, they're not interested, whatever the case may be. So that could be something to understand too, especially when we get into how Sagittarius is about expectations. What are your expectations of yourself? What are your expectations of others? Because as this new moon squares Neptune and Saturn in Pisces, it's like you've got to let each person be on their own path. And this could be a big theme here as we close out this year with this new moon energy of, you're like, I'm just stepping back. I'm not going to be involved in their choices, in their behavior, in their actions. I'm stepping back. And I'm thinking about, if there's anyone in your family, if you're a parent and there's kids, teenagers, young adults, vice versa. If you are the young adult and your parent or your loved one, your sibling, if there's things coming up and you're realizing we're on very different paths, or we're very different people, we're on very different energy levels, that's going to be really pronounced, especially during this holiday season with this Sagittarius new moon, because I think it's going to actually expand the differences. Meaning you can see the chasm. You can see, you're standing on one side of the Grand Canyon and someone else is way over there. The divide is certainly more evident. And I'm just hearing all is well. And to not focus on the divide as something to immediately fix, because what you focus on is what you bring your consciousness to. And what I'm seeing is that infinity sign. It's quite interesting because I'm feeling like this could be a Sagittarius new moon where you have new spiritual understandings of what your particular life path has been about. And that it's time to also, call in any more of the self-compassion, self-forgiveness, self-acceptance that you've been denying yourself, in order to give it to your energy field exactly where you're at, in order to move on, in order to move forward. It feels too like part of this is a lot of detachment, because these planets in Sagittarius are going to have their opinions. There's a sense of personal investment around what you think is correct, what should happen, what someone should do, what's the best path for them, etc. But it's all coming back to consciously choosing what is the best path for you based on where you're at, and to not focus on who's on the other side of the Grand Canyon, but almost maybe it feels like you have to turn your back or turn around and stay on your path and follow the direction that honors your ascension journey now. It's interesting because I'm feeling too like part of this influence of the planets in Pisces is listening to your God self and less of your, I want to say ego self, but I mean that in like the lower ego, the false ego. It's tuning into the direction of your God self. I'm also feeling really strongly that with this particular Sagittarius new moon, we're going to be feeling that there are new soul contracts and new potentials opening up in the higher realms. Because I'm seeing, it almost looks like it's this vast opening of energies that are being cracked open in the galactic frequencies, with the influence of 3i Atlas being the closest to Earth it will be over this new moon and Capricorn solstice. And it's bringing in new frequencies and opening up some really important, I'm hearing, interdimensional timelines. I had a video for you, was that like a few weeks ago now, discussing how upgrades are underway with our psychic abilities, with the influence of 3i Atlas, and I referenced the movie Arrival from 2016. And there's something about how we are expanding into whole new levels of consciousness. We've never been in this territory before. And it's because of this, it's like a convergence. It's this convergence of energy coming in that is just blasting something open that's hard to understand, hard for our consciousness to grasp, at least all at once, because we're becoming more cosmic beings. And as I say that, I'm seeing like only certain people are ready for that. I'm seeing it as like a crowd of people, and only some are the right, I'm seeing it as height. They're at the right height for that assignment and for those next steps. And they're leading the way. They are ascension pioneers and cosmic way showers who are also receiving more downloads of where they've done this same work on other planets to help other planets ascend as well. Okay, so I guess that's where we're going with this message. The Sagittarius New Moon is activating those who have been way showers on other planets, other realms, other frequencies. They're being activated to do that same work here on planet Earth to evolve humans and to move us forward with these new frequencies that are opening up new capabilities. So I'm feeling this as, and I know I mentioned this many times, the clairs, clairsentience, clairvoyance, claircognizance, dream state messages, anything that you are receiving and it leaves a mark, like it leaves that emotional imprint. That's important right now over this span of time and going forward. Anything that's coming through that looks like remembrances of work you've done, other planets, other places. And that's because it's conjunct the Galactic Center. So it's working with the whole galaxy, which isn't just our solar system. But I'm seeing it access memories in the galactic field that are coming in and opening up more to understand. And so you could also feel really different after the Sagittarius New Moon, especially if you have any planets or points in the late degrees of Sag. Because if you do, let's call it, 25 to 29 degrees of Sagittarius, you've been feeling all this for a while, including last year, 2024, because Neptune and Pisces has been squaring these points. So you've been doing this very probably confusing internal renovation that is now coming online in a very full, active state. But you've had to let go of a lot. You've had to surrender, make some important changes in your life. Maybe you've even felt that your body has been deeply shifting, so that you can hold more energies, new energies. I'm seeing too, like, there's certain movies that embody Galactic Center frequencies. Star Wars, any of the Star Wars movies, Star Trek, a ton, right? Interstellar. There's a lot of movies that embody these frequencies, and you maybe could even feel activated through those movies, shows, series, whatever you're drawn to. But all of it is coming together and playing into a bigger story of humanity's ascension. And the other thing I'm hearing is that what was previously weird and bizarre is becoming normal, is becoming more everyday, and is something that we're just accepting as part of our lives and as part of who we are. So more of these psychic abilities, more multi-sensory messages, more activations that are going to maybe be really weird at first. I just feel like it's pretty exciting too, and that it's really cool to be on the planet at this time as we move into this new territory. So yeah, the Sagittarius new moon, it's got a lot of galactic energies in it, a lot of cosmic energies, big awakenings, and some highly expansive frequencies coming through. So don't be surprised if you're exhausted or worn out, needing more water, more food, more protein, needing to be in nature. It could even be a time period of needing more silence and quiet so that you can receive messages and energies that are meant for you. So this went a little longer than I thought, but I hope this has been helpful in understanding the significance of the Sagittarius new moon. Again, it's at 28 degrees of Sagittarius on December 19th. And also I have for you here on YouTube the chart video where I go through more of the specifics of the chart. So check that out, especially if this is a big new moon in your chart. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and I'm going to release another video for you here soon discussing the Capricorn solstice. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you back here shortly.